Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be taking you through the easy steps on how to make a report card in Microsoft Excel. So first of all, you should have your data there ready for manipulation. So we're going to start with total. So we're going to calculate the total number, the total the pupil has achieved in those four subjects. So total, you can either use a formula or a function. And let's use a function. A function is let's use a formula. So for a formula, you're going to add them manually. You say that plus that. So you keep adding that without use cell references. We don't just put the numbers there. Plus that, and you'll be able to, once you press enter, you have your total. And you can copy the formula below by dragging that dot you are seeing at the right bottom corner to the rest, or you can just double click on that and you get the total for each of the pupil. Then for the average for the students, average is total over the number of the subjects. So for here, let's use a function. A function is a predetermined formula, pre-existing formula in Excel. And to use this function, you're going to have equals average, just that average. Ensure that, and you should know that for every formula it starts with an equal sign. Once you don't have an equal sign, it doesn't qualify to be a function or a formula. So after that, you are going to put the range of these cells whose average I want to determine, and I'll close my bracket and I'll say enter, and I'll have this average. I'm from telling you that you can also right click and you can double click on that dot to copy the formula in the rest of the work. The next step, you're going to be commenting. I want to comment in terms of promotion. Do I want to promote this individual to the next class, which is P5, or not? So what do? We are going to, of course, set an average that those below 50 are going to be taken to another class. Those above 50, those below 50 are going to repeat P4, and those above 50 are going to get promoted. So how do we do it? Or you can choose 40, depending on what. In this case, let's use 45. Let's use 45 or 50. So I will say that equals. I'm going to use the if function. And choose the if function equals if, put that bracket, that if I'm choosing average, that if at all the average is greater, if at all the average is greater or equal to 45, what should we do? That this person should be promoted. So I'm going to put a comma, and as you can see, this guides you. For every function put, there's a guidance that Excel gives you. And now we're going which value, if that is true, if this is true, if this logical test is true, what should we bring up? And we always put it in quotation that I want the comment promoted to what? To P5. Then close what? Close your brackets. Remember, there is also a value here if false. So you can, since there is no other condition we are going to just put quotations. We put if at all that condition is not met, what should happen? We should say advised to repeat. Advised to repeat P4. That's the condition we want to be displayed. That's a condition you want. Then you can close your brackets. However, in case you don't want to use this, you can also rebound if, as you are going to see the next part of the video. So after that, you can press enter and you can copy this formula in those other cells. As you can see, you have those who repeated, those who rebounded. And in case there was any mistake, what if there was a mistake in filling in these marks and someone complains and instead of a 13 it's supposed to be a 73? they happen, what happens? As you can see, once his average changes, the person is no longer promoted. And what if there was a reduction in one's marks? It's supposed to get 10 there. Okay, it didn't affect what if, sorry, what if the person had lower marks? As you can see, once you keep changing the marks, it automatically updates whether a person is supposed to repeat or the person is to be promoted. And it's always good culture in Excel to always include all borders on your work, so that in case you have a printout, to actually be printed with those borders. Then next up we are going to grade. What if I want to grade each mark? If I want to grade each mark, insert a column there. Sorry, let's insert a column. We are going to insert. Because I want to insert a new column there. What are you going to do? I want to grade as well as the average. I also want to yes, and here they are. We have inserted our cells, and I want to grade that if someone has this kind of mark, I want the person to get a D1, D2, D, you get it. So that is what we are going to do. That is what we are going to do. That is what we are going to do. So we are going to grade. We are going to grade these students. If I want to use this just for our reference, so that we are all together. We are all moving together. I just want to ensure that everyone will be on the same page. So I want to apply grading in my report. I want to say that if someone got from 80 and above, that's a D1, 70 to 79, that's a D2. How do I do it? And specifically, we're going to use the if function. So once you're doing this, I'm going to go to this grade and I'm going to say equal sign. Put the equal sign, put my if function that I've decided to use. What's a logical test? That if that mark is what? Is greater or equal to 80. If it is what? If it is greater or equal to 80, what do I want to be displayed? Remember, we're just from using it. I want that whatever will be displayed is what? A D1 is going to be displayed. Sorry. And what if that's not true? Now, since we have more conditions, we have to continue using if. So I'm going to say if, we're going to use another if. What if this value is greater or equal to 70? If it is equal to 70. Remember, we are not putting 79 because once to reach a 79, 79 is still what? Greater than 70. But once you reach 80, to find the other condition of equal to 80, hence the D1. So you're mainly going to be using these ones. So what if it's greater or equal to 70? We are going to have him displaying what? It's displaying a D2 for us. And what if our value is greater or equal to 65? 65. What should we expect? We should expect a credit 3. Should expect a credit 3. And what if that value, what if that value, this value here, is greater or equal to 60? What do I want to be displayed? I want a credit 4. So that's a credit 4. And what if that value is greater or equal to 55? In this case, you have to be patient with what is happening. I want to play a credit 6. I want a credit 6 to be noted there. And what if our value here is greater or equal to 50? If it's greater or equal to 50, we are going to have a credit 6. Then what if we have our value there greater or equal to 45? So 45, and we are going to end up with a pass 7. I want a pass 7 to be brought up if that person has such a mark. And what if our mark is greater or equal to 40? What do I want to be displayed? I want pass 8 to be displayed. So that's a pass 8. And do you have another condition? Yes, it's there. However, it's a last condition. So for the last condition, you may either still use if, or you may use what we use at the beginning. What if my condition is false? What do I want? That if none is within these conditions, I want an F9 to be displayed, because yes, that person will have an F9 because that person is not existing in any of these. So automatically that person will be below 40. And that's an F9. Then I can close. Now you have to close all these brackets. What happens when you don't close all of them and you just press enter? They will show you that there is a typo in your formula and they will want to correct it for you. You just click on yes, of course, and they'll correct it for you. And guess what? You have our grade 53. It's between 50 and 54. That's a credit 6. There it is. Then you can copy this formula everywhere. You can see an 8 is a D1, 85 D1, 92 D1, 79. It's a what? D2. Yes. So what can you do? You can copy this formula and you paste it in the subsequent. You can copy that formula and copy it in the, because it's the same thing. You don't need to repeat yourself. And you can see 73 is it's a D2, just as we said. That's a D1 over there. That's an F9. We already expect that. And the averages as well. That's a credit 5. So you don't need to go through the hassle of using it again. Then you just copy it in the cells below by double clicking on that dot over there. Just like that. And yes, as you can see, we have a very elaborative report of our pupils here. And if at all any mark changes, your formulas are there ready to apply the conditions you gave them. Right? So this is all about the report. Please continue to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on my videos if at all they have been helpful to you. Don't forget, there will be more videos coming up on different other things on how to use computers. Thank you so much. Until next time.